What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on Takistan Life. I'll leave the IP, or I'll leave the server that I'm playing on down in the description. Anyways, we're going to do this as a civ, and our goal in this is going to be to get the biggest paychecks as possible. As a civ, you start out, and you only receive paychecks every 7 to 8 minutes, and they usually only equal $500 unless one of the civs has robbed a UN convoy. So with that, we'll get things started. The first thing we're going to want to do is come up here when we spawn in, and we're going to want to come to this ATM. Something worth noting is back here, as you can see, you can buy your driver's license, your truck license, your air vehicle license, which you'll need for a heli later, and your engineer training if you plan on getting a jackhammer or you want to buy a large repair kit to repair your vehicle. Anyways, what we're going to want to do, as you can see, we start out with 20 bucks. Another thing worth noting is up here you can deposit money that you have in your inventory into your bank account, and down here you can withdraw money from your bank account so that you can carry it on your person. So what we're going to do is we're going to withdraw all our 20,000. Our goal at this point, as you can see, we're going to pull the map up, is to get over here to workplace 2. And what we're going to do is buy that workplace. Our goal for this is going to be to buy all 3 workplaces. There's 3 workplaces. The prices vary. To buy workplace 2 costs 20,000. That's the reason we withdrew all our money. Now with that, you're going to want to be careful too. Take note of any oncoming traffic. When running to workplace 2, obviously you have all the money that you start with on your person. So you're going to want to be aware for vehicles that are on the road. What I tend to do is try to run out here in this woodland type area to avoid all main roads and hopefully not become roadkill and end up having to rage and wait till the server reboots. So with that, you seen where we marked workplace 2. I'm going to stop the tutorial here for a second, and when we get up here, and as you can see, there's a retard talking in global, which is not allowed. So real quick, I'm going to mute him. Anyways, we're going to run up here to workplace 2. Once we get there, I'll pick up with the tutorial again and show you guys how we purchased that. Alright, so as you can see, we're coming up on our checkpoint, or our waypoint that we set on the map. Once we get up here, sorry for all the background noise and whatnot, the choppers. Once we get up here, what we're going to want to do is walk up to this flagpole, scroll our mouse wheel to where it says buy workplace 2. Simply left clicked it, and as you see down in the chat, it says you bought this building for 20,000. To bring up your stats in this game, you'll press 1 on the keyboard, not the number pad. And then if you scroll down, you will see that it says that we own now workplace 2. Our next goal from workplace 2 is going to be to head up through Razman, which is a very deadly area, to workplace 1. Our goal is to purchase that. Once we get there, we should receive 2 to 3 checks along the way, you know, running, and by then we should have enough to buy workplace 1, which is normally 10k, and it should be 10k unless things have changed since last night. Once we get up there, I'll resume the video. Again, on the trip up there, you're going to want to make sure you stay off the main road. Razman's got heavy traffic. As you can see, we received a paycheck now of $5,204. Normally we would only receive $500, but since we bought workplace 3, we receive a bigger paycheck. And again, back to what I was saying, you're going to want to avoid the main roads. Razman is roadkill area when you're on foot, so make sure you stay on the backside. Alright, so we've arrived up here at workplace 1. Unfortunately, I made it here quicker than need be, and we didn't have enough money. We only received 2 paychecks along the way, so I had to sit it out and wait until it was almost time for the next paycheck. Anyways, by the time we get over here to the bank, which has an ATM conveniently placed inside, we'll be able to withdraw the 10k we need to buy workplace 1. So with that, we'll head over here to the bank. Something to note, you may want to watch out. There may be cops up here. They may stop you. You'll have to put your hands on your head. In order to place your hands on your head in this, you have to press 3 on the keyboard, not with the number pad. Anyways, we'll walk in here to the ATM, and we'll withdraw our 10,000. Another thing worth noting is in here you can buy bank insurance for 2,000. If you buy 1 bank insurance and you go back to Civ Spawn, across the street from Civ Spawn is a place called private storage. If you place the bank insurance in private storage, even though you only have one in the bank, I mean one in your private storage, every time the bank gets robbed, you won't lose any money, and it will never consume that one bank insurance. So with that, we'll go ahead and buy Workplace 1. As you can see, it says we now bought this building for $10,000, which will help increase our paychecks. You'll notice the difference when we receive another paycheck. But now it shows we own Workplace 1 and Workplace 2. Where we're going to want to head to next is right over here. You can see our location there. We're going to want to head over here to this ATM in Car Shop 2. What we're going to do is we're going to purchase a bike. And we're going to use that bike to make our way back to Civ Spawn so that we can purchase a car license. Once we have that car license, we're going to head down south. And we'll make our way over here. Shouldn't take too long. It's only 200 meters out. Hopefully we don't get run over. Again, you're going to want to try to avoid the main roads. One, people will try to run you over just because they're douchebags, and that's what they do in this game. They don't understand that it's supposed to be a role-playing server. You know, they grew up on DayZ or whatever. And two, avoiding main roads like through Razman will avoid, you'll avoid a lot of the police checkpoints and just the unnecessary hassles of having to go through being searched, stopped, and whatnot. So once we get over here, what we're first going to want to do is run up to this guy. This is the Car Shop 2. And we see he's selling bikes for 560 bucks. So we'll simply just head back over here to this ATM, withdraw 560. The reason we can't buy a car is because we didn't have enough to buy a driver's license when we first spawned in, if we were going to buy Workplace 2 like we did. So with that, we'll buy our bicycle. And as you can see, it says to wait for the bicycle to spawn. Once the bicycle spawned, we'll get on that. We'll get on our way. Hopefully this guy in the UAZ is not trying to jack us, because civs can jack you. Another thing to note, like I said, I'm going to take the back way. We're headed back to Civ Spawn. You're going to want to pull your map up and mark that. Once I get back to Civ Spawn, I'll show you what we're going to do from there. Alright, real quick along the way. As you can see, now we receive paychecks of $15,723. Now you see why I was stressing that it is so key to buy Workplace 2 and Workplace 1 at least. Our goal now is going to be to still get down there and buy Workplace 3, because then we'll receive paychecks that range from anywhere to $10,000 onwards to $30,000 plus. Another thing I wanted to point out along the ride here, while I was headed back to Civ Spawn to buy our car license, is that you're going to never want to accept a ride from somebody in a vehicle. They tend to lock you in, and you've got a lot of trolls on this server that like to carry a lighter and set the car on fire and lock you in the vehicle so that you can't get out and blow you up. So I would highly recommend not trusting anybody. Play this like you play DayZ. You know, trust no one unless they're an actual friend. Anyways, I'll resume this video when we get to Civ Spawn and show you where we're going from there. Alright, so we're back now. We're back at Civ Spawn. I like to park my bike over here to stay away from the other civilians, so that hopefully they don't try to get on my vehicle and I don't get trolled as much, and I don't have to worry about accidentally running somebody over and losing my car license as soon as I get it. And another key thing to point out is, as you can see, this is the building where we can buy the car licenses and the ATM. Straight across is the UL building, and here this guy sells things such as if I can get it to pop up, he sells things like night vision goggles, GPS and whatnot, as well as you can do your private storage in here, or you can use the private storage that is located out here, which I tend to use. So with that, we're going to want to run across here, withdraw $3,000 from our ATM so that we can buy a car license. We're getting a car license, and we're not actually going to buy a vehicle here. You could buy a vehicle if you had the funds, but like I said, I like to stay away from Civ Spawn as much as possible. You got so many people in here trying to troll, looking to be run over so they can complain that they want comp. Anyways, we'll get up here a little bit on the road, and I'll show you where we're going to head to next. Alright, this ought to be good. So as you can see, we're here. Now we're going to want to go way down south. The next location we're going to want to visit is down here, which is Car Shop 3, and conveniently has an ATM located there. Go ahead and mark that on your map. Anyways, once I get down there, I'll resume the video and we'll pick up from there and show you guys what we're going to do. Alright, so we've arrived at our location. What we're going to do now is Go to this car shop. We're going to sell our bike since we don't need it any longer. What we're going to do is buy an ATV. As you can see, that's going for $3,957. If you run around the backside here, there's an ATM placed in between. Something to note, you're only going to want to carry any money that you need, and at the immediate time, you don't want to carry any extra money on you just in case you flip, you blow up for some reason, whatever the case may be. Anyways, cost $35,000 to buy Workplace 3. Along the way, we're going to pick up 2 pickaxes, which I'm going to show you guys late in another tutorial and another video, the next one after this, like how we continue to get started as a civilian. Anyways, we know it's $35,000 for that. To be safe, we're going to want to take $4,000 extra to buy 2 pickaxes. So that brings us up to $39,000, and we know the ATV is another $4,000, so we need $43,000 for this trip. As you can see, we have enough. That's another nice plus to riding the bike down here. Not only do you get to get familiar with the map, but you also accumulate more paychecks. Alright, so now that we have our $43,000, we'll slide over here, and we'll go ahead and buy the ATV. One thing to note about the ATV, this map is real buggy. Like if you're going over hills and stuff, you're going to want to slow down. That way the ATV doesn't flip and you accidentally blow up or die and lose all your money. Once you're on here, what you can do is press T on your keyboard and it'll bring up the vehicle storage. It's not like in DayZ where you press G on the vehicle. You'll want to press T, and then as you can see, we can store our items. I like to store my money in my vehicle. So we've now dropped our $39,000. The next place we're going to want to mark is we are heading over here to the oil processing / mining tool so that we can buy our 2 pickaxes. Once we get down to that location, I'll pick the video back up and show you guys how we go about buying those and where we'll be headed after that. Alright, so we've made it to our destination. What you're going to want to do is simply pull in the gate here, right around to the back. You're going to want to turn the engine off. Obviously, you're going to need to withdraw the money that you stored on the vehicle. I just take it all just to be sure that I'll be able to afford the 2 pickaxes. Simply hop out. Oh, another thing to note that I forgot to mention. To lock and unlock your vehicle is to press L. You're going to want to make sure that once you're on your vehicle, you lock it so that nobody else can get in. As you can see, they have pickaxes in stock. We're going to go ahead and buy 2 for $2,600. And that gives us 2. Go ahead and get back on our vehicle here. Again, we're going to want to store these items. So we're going to want to drop our 2 pickaxes first so that they're on our vehicle. Next, we'll drop our $36,000. We'll actually just drop 35 because that's what we're going to need to purchase Workplace 3. You know what? We'll actually just leave it alone. It's really all up to the player on how you want to go about doing that. Next thing we're going to want to do is head up to Workplace 3. Once we get to this area, again, we're going to want to buy it. I'll resume the video when we get to that point. Alright, so we've arrived at Workplace 3, but I want to be real fast. I noticed there's a helicopter down here. Like I said, civs can rob you, so you're going to want to be quick about it. I'm going to try to get out of this general area as quick as possible so that we don't get fired on. Down south, man, for a cop to respond and actually take care of the problem is going to take quite a long time. So if you notice people in the general area, you may want to wait it out and not go in and wait till they take off, or it's all up to you. But remember, you can be robbed, and then you'll have to wait to get the $35,000 and pretty much start over again. Anyways, I'm going to head up this road. I want to show you guys a pretty nice little glitch if you find yourself down south and low on fuel. As you can see, we're at about half fuel. Again, remember to be careful on these roads. If you can't see over the hill or it looks like it's uneven, be very cautious on this ATV. This thing will flip and instant kill you a lot of times. So once we get down this hill, I'll show you a nice little bug. This doesn't work while you're in like the town of Razman, but if you're down here past the city limits, you can pull up to this pump, and as you see, it says fill up for $300 per 10 liters. But if you just pull up alongside of it, you'll notice our fuel gauges went completely up. Anyways, that concludes this part of the tutorial. This is how you basically get started as a civ. As you can see, we now own all 3 workplaces. Before I end the tutorial, I'll wait till we receive a nice hefty paycheck, and I'll show you guys just how much we can expect to receive as far as like paychecks go from here on out. Another nice plus to receiving big paychecks as opposed to 500 is if you die or get killed by another player for some random ass reason and he won't comp you, you know that in 24 minutes tops that you'll be back in the game. You know what I'm saying? You'll have enough money that you can work with, like buy yourself a new vehicle, get down south, buy some pickaxes or whatever kind of business it is that you want to start up. As you can see, we just received a paycheck for $18,155. With that, I'll just go ahead and conclude the tutorial here. Like I said, the checks will range anywhere from between 10K upwards to 30K. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, be sure to leave this video a like. Next video, I'll be going over how to use the pickaxe and like how we get started from this location right here. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's all I got. This has been Too Cold, and I'm out. Peace.